Okay, hold on, hold up. We need to talk. Roll the intro. It's the very curious news from around the globe with the amazing Conrad. Very curious news item number 1. Here we go again. The drama surrounding Manchester United has returned. Because after the Red Devils' 1-1 draw at home against Wolves this past weekend, Paul Pogba was quoted as saying, "When we are at home, we should attack, attack, attack. That is Old Trafford. We are here to attack." But I'm not the manager. I cannot say. But obviously we should show more option of playing, but I cannot say because I am a player. Then 3 days later, Jose Mourinho apparently told Pogba in front of the whole team that due to these comments and maybe some other actions that we're unaware of, he will never be captain of Manchester United again. And this comes after he captained the side 3 times this season when the real captain Antonio Valencia was out. And to make matters even worse, Manchester United lost at home in penalties yesterday to Derby County in the Carabao Cup, with Derby's young boss Frank Lampard, who you might have heard of, beating his former master Jose Mourinho in their first ever matchup as managers, which must be a super cool feeling for Super Frank, so congrats to him and his team. But what is going on with United? I thought they put all this soap opera crap behind them. But now it looks like Pogba is planting seeds to make sure he is not at the club next season, unless, I assume, Mourinho goes instead. So Jesus. I mean, what do you do, right? If you're the owners of Manchester United, do you keep Pogba or do you keep Mourinho? Personally, and even though I understand and respect Mourinho's decision to strip Pogba of his future role as captain because you can't have one of your players openly criticizing your tactics, I don't agree with Mourinho telling him that he'll never be captain again in front of the whole team. I feel like that should have been done in a one-on-one conversation behind closed doors and you could put it to bed there. But now you got this. But in fairness to Mourinho, maybe he has had one-on-one conversations with Pogba and they haven't worked, which means Mourinho had to resort to humiliating Pogba in front of everyone as a way to make it hurt so that Pogba's behavior would actually change for the better. But I don't know, there's just so much to unpack with this situation because there still feels like there's a lot of unknown in terms of Pogba and Mourinho's relationship. That said, it does seem to appear that the players aren't buying into Mourinho the same way that his old teams used to buy in when it was clear they were playing for him and trusted his tactics. Or maybe it's the complete opposite and that Mourinho doesn't buy into his new era of players who have more off-the-field distractions than ever before with social media, etc. Regardless, if I was on the board of United at this point, I would send Mourinho packing at the end of the season before I got rid of Pogba because 1, Mourinho never stays at a club for more than 3 years anyway, and this is year 3, so the timing is right to move him along. And 2, I think under someone different like Zinedine Zidane or even Didier Deschamps if he wanted to leave the French national team, Pogba could consistently lead this club for many years, but it's clear that he currently feels misunderstood by Mourinho, and maybe Mourinho feels misunderstood by him, so something has to give at some point. Very curious news item number 2. Luka Modric wins the FIFA Best Player of the Year award. And I love this for a lot of reasons. 1, it's the first time that someone not named Messi or Ronaldo has won the award in 10 years, and that feels pretty refreshing. And 2, Modric is 5 foot 8 inches tall and weighs 146 pounds, which proves that you can be any shape or size and have success in this game, which is one of the many reasons why I think this sport is the best in the world. Also, did I mention that he's 33 years old? Meaning he's doing it for us old guys too, so what a legend and what a year he had. This award was so well deserved. Also, after this award was announced, it was revealed who voted for who. And yes, did you hear about this already? Okay, if you haven't, I found some of the votes by some specific voters to be very interesting. For example, let's start with last year's winner of this award, Cristiano Ronaldo, who voted for Raphael Varane in first, which makes sense since Varane was the only player to win the Champions League and the World Cup this past year, which is a really big deal. And now I question why he wasn't one of the finalists. Then he had his former teammate Luka Modric in second, which makes sense, right, for all the obvious reasons, and that's why he's winning awards. Then he had Atleti's Antoine Griezmann in third, which, okay, I get it. He was a World Cup winner, scored some penalties during that tournament, former rival for Madrid. Maybe he's a friend. And I guess he had a good season overall. So let's go to Messi. He picked Modric in first, which is a good solid choice, even if Modric plays for his hated rival. And then he went with Kylian Mbappe in second, and all right, World Cup winner, most exciting young player in the world. I respect that choice. And then he went with Ronaldo in third, which I thought was a pretty cool move and very respectful. And now let's go see what some other people said that you might have heard of before, like Harry Kane, who went with Ronaldo, then Messi, then Kevin De Bruyne. so I think it's pretty clear where he stands on the Ronaldo versus Messi debate. He's a CR7 guy. And Sergio Ramos, who went Ronaldo, Modric, then Messi, and I respect that. And then current US men's national team captain Will Trapp, who went with Ronaldo, Modric, and Messi, so the exact same thing as Sergio Ramos. Great minds think alike, apparently. And then France manager Didier Deschamps. I was very curious about him. Well, he went with Antoine Griezmann in first, Raphael Varane, and then Kylian Mbappe. And I find it very interesting that he put Griezmann first because I feel like he's just trying to placate one of his best players' ego. Anyway, those were just some of the notable voters and their votes. Also, I'm not going to say anything about whether Ronaldo should have voted for Messi out of respect like Messi did for him, because I'm not going to stir that pot, all right? Even though I thought it would have been super cool for Ronaldo to show respect to a player who scored more goals than anybody else in Europe last season, because this whole Messi versus Ronaldo debate just gets so tiring, you know? I'm so tired of talking about it. So no more Messi versus Ronaldo, all right? They're both fantastic players, and that's it. All right, we're on the same page. So it would have been cool if Ronaldo would have voted for Messi. It would have. I'm just saying. And finally, very curious news item number 3, the US Open Cup final is tonight. Yes, that's right, the Houston Dynamo are hosting the Philadelphia Union for the right to capture one of the 3 big trophies that you can win in this country, which is this one, MLS Cup and the CONCACAF Champions League. And the sad part about all of this is that you probably didn't even know that it was happening because US Soccer, who hosts the competition, do little to no marketing for an event that's been around for 106 years. And I cannot tell you how frustrating that is, since it's in a format that even casual American sports fans should be able to understand, because it's just like college basketball's March Madness. You know, small teams trying to beat big teams in single elimination games. That's it. Like all of the domestic cup competitions everywhere else in the world. And also, it's awesome. And there's so many great stories to share, especially about these smaller teams and how hard they work to do well against the big MLS clubs that spend millions and millions and millions of dollars. And we just gloss over the whole thing, which is a joke, and it pisses me off. The Open Cup deserves more respect. Now, as for the 2 teams, neither the Dynamo nor the Union have ever won it before, so it's going to be pretty cool to see who can make the big plays to capture their first ever Open Cup trophy and give it a big fat kiss. Which leads me to my fun fact: I won the Open Cup in 2004, way to go, big guy, and to my prediction, and it's a tough one because even though I think Houston is always the favorite when they're playing in Houston because it's such a difficult place to play, I like the Union to potentially pull off the upset because they've been in 2 Open Cup finals before, which were both in front of their home fans in Philadelphia, and they lost both. So maybe because they're not in Philly, they'll be able to break their Open Cup final curse. Or not. Maybe they're just destined to always be Open Cup final losers. Either way, I think it's going to be a great game, so I really hope that you make some time to watch it tonight on ESPN2. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Eastern, so do it, and then we can talk about it tomorrow. Also, I never made a prediction. Oh, man. I'm going to say Houston 3-2. Anyway, that is it. That is all I got. So let me know your thoughts about MOURINHO versus Pogba and not about how Messi and Ronaldo voted in the FIFA Player of the Year award, because we don't need to talk about them again. And who do you like to win in the Open Cup, Houston or Philly? These are my questions, and I want your answers down below. And then, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for previews and predictions, where I'll be giving away more copies of FIFA 19. Or at least that's the word on the street. That's the rumor. So you have to tune in tomorrow to find out. All right, later.